Welcome to Have You Read It, the channel where we bring books to life, one summary at a time. Whether you're here for self-help, personal growth, or business inspiration, there's something for everyone. Today, we're diving into Bethany McLean and Peter Elkind's The Smartest Guys in the Room, The Amazing Rise and Scandalous Fall of Enron. This book isn't just a thrilling tale of corporate greed and deception. It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition, hubris, and a culture that prioritizes perception over reality. Our story begins in Houston, the heart of the energy world, a city built on oil and gas, perfectly mirroring the industry's culture, bold, opportunistic, and reverent of new money. This is where Ken Lay, Enron's founder, began his journey. Lay, a preacher's son with a shrewd mind and an economist's training, was a fervent believer in deregulation. He envisioned transforming a humble pipeline company into a gas giant, a company rivaling Exxon and other titans. Lay's career trajectory, like Enron's, was marked by ambition and a keen eye for opportunity. From humble beginnings in rural Missouri, he rose through the ranks of Humble Oil, the Navy, and the Interior Department, each step bringing him closer to the pinnacle of power. His personal life, however, was tumultuous. His first marriage crumbled amidst an affair with his secretary, Linda, who would become his second wife. Despite a bitter divorce, Lay maintained a cordial relationship with his first wife, even including her in family vacations years later. This ability to smooth over conflict, however, would become a double-edged sword in his leadership style at Enron. Lay's leadership at Enron was marked by a get big fast strategy, fueled by his faith in deregulation. This led to aggressive acquisitions and a relentless focus on growth. His ready, fire, aim management style, combined with an aversion to tough decisions, created a culture where ambition often went unchecked. At the same time, he cultivated the image of a visionary leader and philanthropist, earning him accolades in the business world and influence in political circles. This image, however, masked a growing sense of entitlement, reflected in personal loans from the company, nepotism, and extravagant use of corporate resources. Early in Enron's history, the company faced a serious financial crisis. The deregulation Lay had championed had led to a glut of natural gas, plunging prices and exacerbating the company's take-or-pay liabilities. Enron was bleeding money and desperately needed a new source of profits. That source initially came from Enron Oil, a small, secretive trading operation run by the enigmatic Lou Bourget. Unlike the rest of Enron's slow-moving businesses, oil trading generated quick profits through speculation on oil prices. The Houston executives knew little about how the trading worked, but they didn't care as long as the profits kept rolling in. The oil trading operation, however, was not as it seemed. An internal audit soon revealed that Bourget and his treasurer, Tom Mastroini, were not just shifting profits between quarters, but were also stealing from the company. Despite clear evidence of wrongdoing, Lay and other executives chose to look the other way, prioritizing short-term profits over ethical conduct. This early scandal, which nearly bankrupted Enron, foreshadowed the company's later downfall and served as a warning sign that would go largely unheeded. The Enron oil scandal also marked the rise of Rich Kinder, a tough, no-nonsense lawyer who brought much-needed discipline to the company. Kinder's come-to-Jesus meeting, where he vowed to kick out all the fucking alligators, became a pivotal moment in Enron's history, temporarily bringing order to the chaotic corporate culture. Enter Jeff Skilling, a McKinsey consultant with a brilliant mind and a radical vision for the natural gas industry. Skilling saw the industry's problems as stemming from the inefficient interaction between buyers and sellers. He proposed the gas bank, a revolutionary idea that would transform the way natural gas was bought and sold, allowing Enron to profit from the spread between the price it paid producers and the price it charged customers. The gas bank, though initially met with skepticism, would eventually become a cornerstone of Enron's success. Skilling, a Harvard Business School graduate and a rising star at McKinsey, was a master of pattern recognition, seeing how the techniques of one industry could be applied to another. He believed in intellectual meritocracy and a Darwinian view of business. Skilling also championed mark-to-market accounting, a controversial method that allowed Enron to book projected future profits immediately, giving the appearance of rapid growth. While this method could provide a more accurate picture of a company's financial health in certain circumstances, it also created opportunities for manipulation and a dangerous dependence on ever-increasing earnings. While Skilling brought much-needed innovation, he was also a terrible manager, often oversimplifying complex issues and disregarding the messy details of execution. His arrogance and his belief that he was always the smartest guy in the room made him blind to the flaws in his own thinking. He created a culture where greed was the primary motivator and loyalty was bought with money. He prioritized guys with spikes, individuals with narrow talents, regardless of their other shortcomings, leading to a dysfunctional workplace where teamwork and collaboration were often undermined. Another key figure in Enron's early transformation was John Wing, an aggressive and enigmatic executive who built the company's international business. Wing, a West Point and Harvard Business School graduate, was a master dealmaker who secured lucrative projects overseas, notably the Teesside power plant in England. He was also a master manipulator, notorious for his volatile personality and his willingness to exploit the system for personal gain. Wing's relationship with his protégé and lover, Rebecca Mark, was particularly tumultuous, further adding to the drama and dysfunction within Enron. Rebecca Mark, a charismatic and ambitious Harvard MBA, inherited Wing's international business and became a high-profile figure in the male-dominated energy world. Mark, known for her optimism, charm, and relentless drive, secured deals across the globe, from South America to India. Her most ambitious project, the Dabhol power plant in India, however, would become a symbol of the perils of globalization and a major financial drain on Enron. While Mark's international business generated buzz and accolades, it was also plagued by cost overruns, political risks, and a flawed compensation system that rewarded deal-making over project management. Her rivalry with Skilling, fueled by their conflicting business philosophies and personal animosity, created further tension within Enron. By the mid-1990s, Enron had become a Wall Street darling, its stock price soaring as it touted its innovative business model and impressive earnings growth. This success, however, was largely an illusion, carefully crafted by Andy Fastow, Enron's chief financial officer. Fastow, a master of structured finance, used complex, off-balance sheet vehicles and partnerships to hide debt, manipulate earnings, and create a false impression of financial strength. His LJM partnerships, ostensibly created to benefit Enron, became a conduit for personal enrichment, generating millions in secret profits for Fastow and his associates. Enron's obsession with its stock price became all-consuming. The company's performance was measured not by its underlying business fundamentals, but by its ability to meet or beat Wall Street's quarterly earnings expectations. This created a culture where manipulation and deception were not just tolerated but rewarded. The company's traders, fueled by arrogance and a belief in their own invincibility, engaged in risky speculation and manipulated energy markets, notably in California, generating short-term profits but ultimately contributing to Enron's downfall. Enron's downfall was not a sudden event, but a slow-motion implosion, a result of years of accumulated risks and hidden losses. The company's two big enchiladas, Enron Energy Services and Enron Broadband Services, which were supposed to generate billions in profits, instead became massive cash drains, further exacerbating the company's financial problems. As the cracks in Enron's facade began to show, Skilling abruptly resigned, leaving Ken Lay to grapple with the rapidly escalating crisis. Lay's return as CEO was met with initial optimism, but he was unable to stem the tide. The company's financial shenanigans were exposed in a series of damning articles in the Wall Street Journal, triggering an SEC investigation and a collapse in investor confidence. As Enron's stock price plummeted and its credit rating was downgraded, the company faced a liquidity crisis, desperately seeking a buyer or a bailout. A last-ditch merger with Dynegy fell apart, leaving Enron with no choice but to file for bankruptcy. The bankruptcy filing triggered a wave of investigations, lawsuits, and criminal charges. Arthur Andersen, Enron's auditor, was convicted of obstruction of justice for shredding documents. Executives, bankers, and analysts were all scrutinized for their roles in the debacle. Lay and Skilling were convicted of fraud and conspiracy, though Lay's conviction was later vacated due to his death. Skilling, initially sentenced to 24 years, ultimately had his sentence reduced to 14, getting out of prison in 2017 after serving 6 years and agreeing to forfeit $40 million. Fastow, after initially being given a 10-year sentence, had it reduced to 6 after agreeing to cooperate with prosecutors, getting out of prison in 2011 after serving 5. The Enron scandal led to significant reforms, including the Sarbanes-Oxley Act and the Credit Rating Agency Reform Act. These reforms, however, have not prevented subsequent financial crises, raising questions about the effectiveness of regulation and the enduring power of greed and self-delusion in the business world. So, what's the main takeaway from the smartest guys in the room? It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of prioritizing perception over reality. Enron's executives were so focused on maintaining the illusion of success, on manipulating earnings, hyping deals, and cultivating a glamorous image, that they lost sight of the fundamentals of their business. They created a culture where greed, arrogance, and a lack of accountability were not just tolerated, but rewarded. And in the end, that culture destroyed them. Here are some easy-to-remember heuristics from the book. Ready, fire, aim. This describes Ken Lay's impulsive management style, a tendency to act quickly without fully considering the consequences. Guys with spikes. Skilling's preference for hiring individuals with narrow talents, regardless of their other shortcomings, leading to a dysfunctional workplace. Mark to market. The accounting method that allowed Enron to book projected future profits immediately, creating opportunities for manipulation. Special purpose entities. The off-balance sheet vehicles used to hide debt and create a false impression of financial strength. Ask why, asshole! Skilling's infamous response to an analyst's question, highlighting his arrogance and disdain for scrutiny. Thanks for watching. Have you read it? Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you never miss our next book dive.